Good morning. Bob Nuchow here, reading Riding with the Current from page 27 of A Darkness of the Light, first and flawed, error-ridden self-published book of my Darkness series. The sketch for Riding with the Current is in my latest Darkness series book, A Dream Never Reached, on page 114 without the poem. You see me wearing a t-shirt and a jacket of my father's Teamster Local 840, where we had a volatile working relationship as an overbearing, dominant figure of a father and boss, and a rebellious, stubborn son and local staff member. I think he fired me 3 times, and I must have quit 4 or 5 times. I miss him much. Here's a sketch I did for his birthday and on Father's Day. His birthday fell on June 15th, so many years it was on the same day. And I did that as a sort of a peace offering, trying to get back together. And a few photos of my father. This is my dad with Dr. King and Paul Dwyer. Paul Dwyer was an Irish-American civil rights leader back in New York. My dad with Bishop Desmond Tutu at an anti-apartheid rally in Central Park of New York City. My dad spoke at many rallies. Here he is emphasizing a point at one of those rallies, speaking. Here's a picture of my dad and me with David Dinkins. I think he was Manhattan Borough President at the time before he became mayor of New York City. A photo of my father with Reverend Jesse Jackson at the anti-apartheid rally in Central Park. And my father ran the Reverend Jesse Jackson presidential campaign in the New York primary in Manhattan, won Manhattan for Jesse Jackson in the New York primary, 1984 and 1988. And before I read Riding with the Current, I'm going to read a little short introduction of my father from one of my social media posts long ago. I was blessed with 2 amazing, compassionate, creative, caring parents who both gifted me to have love and respect for all people and their beautiful and abundant diversity of loving relationships, culture, and languages. My father, labor, civil rights, peace activist William Haywood Nuchow, took my sister Laura Jane and me on the Freedom Train from New York City to Union Station in Washington, D.C. to hear Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. deliver his I Have a Dream declaration. I remember the warm waves of humanity radiating and engulfing me in a spirit of unity amidst a beautiful sea of black, brown, yellow, red, and white. My father worked with Dr. Martin Luther King and the Irish-American civil rights leader Paul Dwyer, which you saw in the photo. He did security for Paul Robeson at his concerts, Peekskill, New York, collected and brought medical supplies, canned food, clothes, and freedom convoys for Central American brothers and sisters struggling against American government corporate installed propped-up dictators in Nicaragua. He hosted trade union leaders from mainland China, visited Cuba many times, lovingly bringing back cigars from the island, which I couldn't stand the stink of. I remember my father working with and me meeting Cesar Chavez fighting for farm workers' rights. My father loved to cook, especially Italian food. We knew his marinara sauce was ready when it bubbled, hitting the ceiling after hours of cooking down. Cooking was matched with his love to feed huge groups around a table, enriched with lively talk of politics, world events, and family. My father gifted me with a bit of his ability to organize, contributing to my 40 years of activism, producing events, and representing a few folks in my latter years as a PR manager. The presence, strength, and persistence of my father, William Haywood Nuchow's labor, civil rights, peace activist, along with his always quirky sense of humor, is very much missed. The creativity, intelligence, friendship, patience, and always loving support of my forever teaching published children's book author mom, Marlene Roberta Abrams Nuchow Cohen Newman, is also missed every day. I don't have either of my parents with me today. I lost my father in 1993, my mother in 2014, and I'll be reading a piece for my mom in a future video. Now here's Riding with the Current. I hope you enjoy it, and my books if you decide to get them on Amazon. Riding with the Current. The water breaks and foams, struggling against the collision of two opposing currents. As the tide nears the shore, it harries the waves speedily to waiting sand. The sea calls back its claim, and the flows reverse. A retreat is taken into the undertow, fighting, battling through the onrush, a strong but fading surge of ocean surf. Thus, our father and son, like currents of the sea, the rush of the tide coming in, the backwash returning out to the deep. The crashing of two egos, wave upon wave, new upon old, separate waves, separate egos, but all part of the same waters. Both lives begin and finish with the passing of the tide. Both lives are part of one vessel, one family, and both should flow together no matter if the waters churn or are calm between the crashing of the waves. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you have a great day today. Always keep hope alive, as Reverend Jesse Jackson said down in Atlanta, Georgia. And until my next piece of prose, take care, and I'll see you then.